Hey guys, it's Liza Live here today, and happy Friday everybody. So I am here with Bart Miller. I know a lot of you recognize Bart Miller. He is what we like to call an epic adventurer and also a jack of many trades. So Bart, why don't you tell our followers where your journey began and then how long you've been a member here at Apple?
So fitness-wise, my journey started clear back when they were on Broadway on the other end of town. So when I was in high school, I went there and actually was lifting weights, and Robbie was there, and he was the one we all looked up to and wanted to look like. And then from there, moved over here to like the other side of town over here where the tennis courts are now. And then when Steve built this place, we came here. And I became an executive member here, and I've been an executive member ever since this club started. So I've been with the Apple for quite a long time. So used the facility for several different things, from weightlifting to cycling. Most of you out there probably know that I race bikes competitively for the last 7 years. So I was in here doing a lot of spin classes, Holly, and did a lot of fun stuff. So if you see me watching you on the bike in here and I'm going, oh my gosh, and I come over to try to help you, it's because it's driving me crazy how you're fit on your bike. So make sure your fit's right.
See, this is the thing I love about Bart, and I actually was at the club yesterday watching him. It's awesome to see some of our members just come up to Bart and ask for some opinions and just say, hey, Bart, how do I do this? How do I do that? And so we definitely want to be able to utilize Bart's information and all of his experience. And so as far as what you're doing right now, I know you're competing in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so tell them what you're competing for, the fitness competition, and where that's all going to be held.
Yeah, awesome. So I started a journey about a year, it's been a year ago exactly. My oldest son is serving an LDS mission in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I knew I had like 1 year gap with him. Most of you know he raced bikes also. So he came to me and said, Dad, look, I don't want to race bikes this year. I really want to lift weights. And I think it's because all the girls, right? So that thing called testosterone kicked in. He started liking girls and he really wanted to lift weights. So he said, would you spend some time lifting weights with me? And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, this is a big game changer for me because I've got to restructure everything. But number one, the most important thing to me is obviously family. And I knew as soon as he went on his mission, when he got home, he was out of the house. So this was really my last time to spend time with him. So if you know me, I'm an extremist, and I know some of you are laughing because I'm a really extremist. So I said, look, if we're going to do this, let's do it. So I hired the #1 physique trainer out of LA, and we started lifting with him. So most of you know I traveled to LA for a week. I lift there, then I come back here, and I lift here for 3 weeks, and then I fly back. So I've been doing that now for the last 6 months. First show is in LA, and the reason I did that show is because 2 weeks later is the one in Boise, Idaho. So that's what I'd like to do really well at, but I didn't know how to do a show, never been on stage before, and so I didn't know how to do all the cutting, all that kind of stuff, so I wanted to learn that. And it was past Mr. Olympia, so he took 8 guys to Mr. Olympia this year, had them competing, so my coach's focus was really on that point, so I didn't want to do any shows around that. So the timing turned out really good, and I've learned a ton about nutrition and just how your body can change. And most people don't realize that as an athlete, we have different structures of bodies that fit different types of sports that we're in. And sometimes we really want to look one way, but we're in a sport that you just can't do that, and that's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. But when I was on the bike, the thing I struggled with the most was I always had a belly. It didn't matter how fast I was, how well I did, and I always just carried this gut, and so I never wanted my shirt off, and it absolutely drove me crazy. And so when I got in this world, I promised myself that before I was done, I would have the body that I've never had before, and I was going to have abs, and I was going to work out. And so my son said one day, he says, Dad, you got to get on the stage. He says, all roads lead to the stage. And I said, you're right. So I really had to dig deep and figure out my why. And I can tell you this, if you don't have accountability and a why, you'll never make anything happen, because there's all these stumbling blocks that come along the way, right? So I figured out my why, and then I figured out why, what I wanted to do when I got there, what my goal was, and I set that. So here we are, 2 weeks out. So if you want to follow that journey, you're welcome to. But yeah, it's been, you guys, this is probably the hardest thing I've ever done. I look up to weightlifters now more than I've probably ever. When I was on the bike, it's like endurance is so hard. You're so many hours out there. And the time restraints are amazing, but the diet on this end, oh my goodness.
Completely different.
Like,
like a whole new respect.
Whole new respect. So sorry for going on that
I
little
love
long
it.
tangent.
No, I
but
loved
there
it.
you go.
That's exactly what I wanted. We want to be able to pick Bart's brain as much as possible.
Yeah.
And also, it's really imperative you guys. I followed some of his journeys. He's got a couple different of Instagram journeys. His traveling the world. There's a lot of different, like I said, hats that Bart wears.
Yeah.
And whatever your interest is, whether you're a non-exerciser, whether you're a cyclist, whether you're just into weightlifting, or this is why you want to follow Bart. So Bart, why don't you give a quick shout out? I know he doesn't love me putting him on the spot about, bragging a ton about Bart, but we're really proud and we're really happy to have Bart here at the club. We feel like he's an asset. A lot of members like to approach him, and he's so giving as far as giving information, and he just wants to help people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so tell them a couple of forums that they can follow so that they can follow the journey, because we're going to be following it
Awesome.
the next couple of weeks just
All right.
to see the progress. And
Yeah, so you can go to @GOAT, GOAT, man, MAN, built, BUILT, and you'll follow all the Instagram stuff on the fitness stuff I'm on right now. CyclingStrong.com is all the cycling world. Right now I'm not posting a lot in cycling because it burns way too much fat for me, so I have to stay in where I'm at. But if I can tell you one thing I've learned in fitness, it really does come down to your why. It's huge, right? What are you doing this for? And then tracking, right? We gotta have accountability, and if you don't have an accountability partner, and that might be just checking in at the front and have somebody there say, "You showed up today, good," and just ask them, make sure I'm here every day, right?
Yes.
But whatever that is, get an accountability partner, and that's simple things like even this watch. It makes me super accountable because when I look at it, I upload, and I've got 5 friends that have access to my watch's data, and they make sure I'm doing my walks. And if I don't, they check up on me, and I have different things. So I have challenges that they can call me out on. So like, if I don't do one of these challenges, I have to eat a can of dog food live on YouTube, and they have to post that because I failed. So they want to catch me failing, and that makes me more motivated. So set something up like that and be accountable.
I love that. So a lot of fit tips we were able to get. We kind of jammed a lot of fit tips into one Fit Tip Friday, but I really wanted to be able to get this out here as far as Bart, and especially with everything that's going on right now in the country, the Vegas shooting and everything. One of the things that I feel like we've all been able to take away from it is unity, and how important it is to give kindness and show that our world has
Absolutely.
not gone to pot,
Yeah.
and that there's a lot of good people left in the world,
sure.
and I count Bart as one of them.
Oh, thank you so
And
much.
so absolutely, please follow his journey. You guys will be inspired. It's pretty awesome. So not only do we want you to stay fit here at the club and our viewers to get in here to start getting your fitness journey on, but stay kind too.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so thanks you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.
Bye.